and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Of Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. In this is episode, we love to explore the topic of parenting and family dynamics in the 21st century. We have come to realize the importance of, having a discussion on such a very important topic for such a dynamic times as we are in. There's a lot to talk about on parenting and family dynamics, talk of mental health, talk of communication crisis, society and peer pressure, family expectations, and so much more. This is what we will be focusing on this season episodes. And I've got great minds, professionals who are adepts in the topic of parenting and family dynamics as we explore this topic and begin to pivot the positive changes and transformations that we need, not just in the parenting and the family system, but also in the society in general. Today, it gives me great pleasure to have Kenneth Kunken, who is a former trial attorney and a quadriplegic lawyer, on the show with me today. We want to talk about how we can begin to give back and helping others as parents. Great to have you on the show, Ken.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as your guest.
Great to have you as a guest indeed. I'm delighted and honored to have you explore this topic with me and also the audience as we move forward with the conversation. So the first question really is, how can one be a good dad or be the father your kids need?
Basically, just to be there, to listen, to be a support system, to try and keep your child or children as happy, relaxed as they could be, to be patient with him or her, and to let them know that they could feel safe just being with you, and that you'll do everything you can to make them safe and to feel safe.
But really, are we, as a parent, what you just said now, are we going to be communicating that verbally to the kids, or how are we going to communicate this to our kids?
Well, it's both. It's certainly communicating it, but also by just being there with them, by showing that one, they can trust you with any issues, problems, or concerns on their mind. Two, that you will always be there for them, that you will have unconditional love for them, and that you will help them in their journey through life in every way and shape possible.
Don't you think we are setting a rather high expectations for ourselves and for our kids? Don't you think so? Or really, is it right to set high expectations for ourselves as a parent and as well as for the family?
I think it's very important to keep your expectations high, whether they be for yourself or for others, because people's performance often rises or falls based upon what others expect of them. And by keeping your expectations high for others, I believe they will rise up and do more to meet those expectations. And I believe that applies to yourself as well. If you think that you can do certain things, you'll hopefully be able to do them. If you think you can't, you'll probably be right and won't be able to do it. You need to keep expectations high for yourself as well as to others. Nobody's perfect. We need to admit that to ourselves. But by the same token, I believe we all can do far more than most people think we can accomplish.
But really, Ken, challenges in the family dynamics can cause expectations to be unmet, which can rather cause disappointment, resentment at the end of the day. So how can we begin to navigate family expectations?
Well, one, obviously you need to be realistic, but you can be both realistic and positive and optimistic at the same time. I believe if you get up each morning and look at the good side of the day and all the positives that are taking place around you, you can convey that to your children and your family and help them feel better and have a positive attitude each and every day.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Moving forward, can we talk, how can we integrate giving into daily family life? especially in these troubling times that we are in and challenging indeed?
Well, part of giving is to firstly feel fortunate for everything that you have in life. And if you have the opportunity to give to others, to help them, that will not only make a difference in other people's lives, but it will make you feel better about yourself as well. Just a little bit about myself. I had a spinal cord injury back in 1970, 55 years ago. And as a result, I'm almost totally paralyzed. I need a lot of help with all my activities of daily living. And I found that to be obviously not only very challenging, but depressing in that I was receiving so much help and was not able to give help to others. And back in 1977, I had the good fortune to be hired by a company called Abilities Incorporated, which was part of what is now called the Viscardi Center. And for the first time, I had the opportunity to give back, to help others. I was working as a vocational rehabilitation counselor, and it changed my life to be able to now be in a position where I could help others. That made me feel so much better about myself and so good at the fact that I was helping others. And I tried to expose my children to that at an early age so that they could appreciate not only what they have, but that they're in a position where they could help so many others. And I think it's made a big difference in their lives.
Right. So how do you manage stress?
Stress is very difficult because I used to be able to manage it by being very physically active. I had my spinal cord injury playing football. I used to be able to manage stress by going out on the football field and doing something physically active and running into opposing players. And it used to be a great way to have stress relief. Now, the best way to manage it first is being with my children, being with my wife and children, seeing how wonderful they are helps relax me. But also just spending time out in nature, spending time by the water or in, around gardens and trees and flowers, and just appreciating everything that's taken place around you is a great way to relax.
Right. Sometimes family dynamics, we always experience a disconnection. Very, very common, and we're all familiar with that. Uh, due to seemingly overwhelming, obligations, life demands that's the pop up in the family, right? So how can a reconnection be possible?
Well, I've been very fortunate that I have three children. I have triplets, and I've always needed to recognize and try my best to treat them as three individuals. They're very different people, despite the fact that they are triplets. And by doing that, I've been able to enjoy watching all three of them grow up, do their own thing. I know they have different needs, different wants, different desires, but it's wonderful to be able to help each and every one of them, spend time with them, and encourage them to help each other. That as a family, there's so much more you can do than as an individual. And I've tried to encourage that their whole lives. They're now 20 years old. They're attending three separate colleges in upstate New York. They're staying very close with each other. They visit each other. They FaceTime. They've gone to class with each other. They're each other's best friends. And that brings me so much pleasure to see them not only developing and growing to be the wonderful people that they are, but they're devoted to helping each other, whether it be their brothers or every other person they come in contact with.
But really, Ken, I'd like you to go further in telling me or the audience perhaps what is it like to be a father of triplets?
It's the greatest experience in the world. I could not be happier. And I've been blessed that I have, three wonderful children who have grown up with the right values. They appreciate what's taken place around them. They don't take anything for granted. They do everything they can, not only to have a good time and enjoy themselves, but to help everybody else around them so that everybody can achieve and do better. They bring a smile to so many people's faces. And it's just the greatest thing in the world.
Thank you so much, Ken, for sharing your thoughts indeed. with the audience. I'd like you to tell me about your memoir, I Dream of Things That Never Were. Don't you think this is a familiar story of most of us? So what is the important takeaway, or what makes this memoir unique?
Okay, well, when I was injured, I had a spinal cord injury in 1970. I didn't know anybody else who had a spinal cord injury at the time. I didn't even know what a spinal cord injury meant or entailed. So I didn't have any role models that I could look to for hope or inspiration to lead me to believe that I could still lead a useful, productive, rewarding, and happy life. While I was still in the hospital, 6 months after I was injured, I was asked to testify before a United States Health Subcommittee chaired by Senator Edward Kennedy. And 8 days after my testimony, Senator Kennedy sent me a glass paperweight in the mail that had an inscription on it that the senator said his late brother Robert Kennedy liked to use very much. And the words on that inscription have always inspired me and motivated me. The inscription read, "Some men see things as they are and say why. I dream of things that never were and say why not." And that's where I got the title of my book, I Dream of Things That Never Were, because I wanted to show people there's an awful lot each and every one can do with their lives if they work hard. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to people who tell you you can't do something or it's just so too difficult. Just because something has never been done before doesn't mean you can't do it now.
Thank you for the motivation, Ken. So moving forward, do you have any exciting news or projects you want to share with the audience of the podcast? You can share them. We will be looking forward to learning about
Well,
it.
I've just been visiting my three sons up in college, and they're doing just so well. One is a junior majoring in mechanical engineering. One is studying renewable energy, and the third is studying communications and would like to be a journalist. And I think the next generation of leaders is so exciting to see how well everybody is doing. Spending time on a college campus with them just really rejuvenates my faith in society and how well things are actually going to be going in the future.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing that information. Do you have any parting word you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, for some reason these days, some people seem to have a negative impression of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. I want to tell people that DEI is a wonderful thing. It's a good thing to be around people who are different than you, diverse, to include people in all these different activities is wonderful. That makes people better. It's not a detriment. It's a positive in our society. When I was working as a prosecutor, when we used to leave our office in the district attorney's office, you would go through what they call an exit interview, where you tell the interviewer what you like best about the job and what parts you thought could be improved. And I was so honored to hear the personnel director tell me on many occasions that what a number of people said the best part of their job was meeting, getting to know, and working with me. And the reason why I'm saying that is I know what they were referring to is meeting, getting to know, and working with somebody who had a disability. Because unless they had a close relative with a disability, people rarely came in contact with an individual with a disability. And they found that that helped improve their lives.
Ken, for sharing your thoughts indeed. We like to connect with you. We like to have your social media handles and your website. You can share them so we can connect and learn more about you.
Great. Well, they can go to my website. Well, my website is kenkunken.com, and that tells a lot about myself, my personal journey, what I've done in my life, as well as about my book, which is available in an ebook as well as an audio book, in addition to the hardcover book. It will also tell them, okay, it'll also tell them about some of the podcasts I've done in the past, as well as some of the motivational speaking that I've done.
All right, thank you so much, Kenneth Kunken, for sharing your thoughts on today's show. Really appreciate your thoughts, your insight as we explored on the topic of giving back and helping others as a parent. Kenneth is a former trial attorney and a quadriplegic lawyer. He's a father of triplets, and we had a great time listening to your insight and your personal life experience to motivate the audience of Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of the audience, we wish you best of luck in all of the projects that you embark upon now and in the nearest future, Ken.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you once again. It's a delight and honor to have you on the podcast once again.
Thank you.
It's Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, and my name is Omobola Stephen. If you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the podcast, you can do so on any podcast distribution platforms or any podcast promotion platforms you bump into online, and do have an amazing time. And listen to professionals who are adepts in the topic of parenting and family dynamics in the 21st century, because this is the topic we are focusing on in this season's episode. Till I come your way, I am Omobola Stephen. I always need you to stay safe. I talk to you soon. Thank you once again, Ken. We had a great time. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you again.
Sure.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe and leave us a review.